Secret Club members, we have finally made it to Christmas. And I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like it was a long year, it was a tough year. But of course, getting to Christmas is always a major milestone for me, for my team. We have been in the warehouse all week. I've had my runners on, I've been packing boxes. It reminds me of the days when we had COVID, where that was all I did for many, many, many months, was trainers on in the warehouse packing orders, which is immensely gratifying because what I get to see is you, my regular, loyal and loving customers, putting those orders through week after week, month after month and year after year. And it suddenly occurred to me today while I was thinking about the club that next year is our 10-year anniversary. And some of you, and I was looking, club went out today, I was looking at the names on the list. Some of you have been in the club for the whole time since the very first day, which is phenomenal. We haven't repeated a champagne. We've taken an absolute journey together. And actually on Monday, we have a full container of champagnes arriving, which is never been seen before in Australia. So a fresh 6 months of champagne for you, which is so, so exciting. But thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your love. Thank you for staying with us for such a long period of time. I never, ever underestimate that, and I'm always in gratitude of our club members and the relationships that we have, so thank you. I'm going to say that from the outset. We are at Christmas. This month I chose the champagnes based on what I would drink for Christmas dinner and Christmas pairings, and I've chosen two beautiful champagnes. A champagne that I've had a really long relationship with. In fact, it's one of the first champagnes that I started working with when I came out on my own after working for LVMH. And it was one of the first champagnes that really gave me a lot of opportunity, and it was Laurent-Perrier. So I'm tipping my hat to Laurent-Perrier this month in gratitude for the opportunities that you gave me in the very beginning of my champagne career as Champagne Dame. And I'm also bringing in a new champagne partner, Marc Hebrart. So we've got two exceptional champagnes this month. One is a vintage from 2012, very big, ripe, rich and luscious, and the other is a Blanc de Blanc. They've both been chosen to pair with your Christmas dinner this month. So to mix things up this month and coming out to everybody, our lovers, we are bringing in our super premium. So we are offering you this month the vintage from Laurent-Perrier, the vintage 2012. For those of you who read the magazines and read the critic reviews, we know that 2012 was one of the best vintages of the decade. It was near perfect. It was exceptional and it looks spectacular right now. The Maison, of course, is Laurent-Perrier, a house that gave me so much support when I was starting my career 17 years ago. It seems like a long time. But a little bit about the house. I mean, our first champagne house started in 1729 with Maison Runard. And then we had Clicquot, we had Moët Chandon. We've had some houses that have transcended hundreds of years of history within the Champagne region. This house was founded in 1812. It wasn't originally founded by the Laurent-Perrier family. Monsieur Perlot was the man who started the house. He passed it down to his son, but when his son didn't have any heirs, he handed it to one of his staff, who was Mr. Perrier, and him and his wife took over the house together and created an amazing legacy. It's gone from family member to family member for many, many, many years now, but they've been growing over time. What I love about the Laurent-Perrier Maison is this femininity, and there has been a very long line of strong women at the helm. Mathilde Emily Perrier, who was the Veuve, really did transcend boundaries and take on the brand and grow the business. And then we had many, many more women, including the two current daughters. But Laurent-Perrier has this femininity, and I think potentially that's why they lead with Chardonnay. For me, some of my fondest memories of having Laurent-Perrier were always about Chardonnay singing in the vineyard, the freshness and the finesse. With this particular cuvee, the vintage 2012, it's only produced in the best years, and we now have even proportions, 50% Chardonnay, 50% Pinot Noir from the very best plots, aged for a minimum of 6 years, sometimes more, but we have this balance between complexity and power. And in this example right now, and I looked at this wine a couple of weeks ago, we've got vanilla, toffee, almond, French cream, brioche, a roundness, a suppleness. But being the 2012 vintage, it keeps this perfect acid line that draws everything back into precision. It's a great wine to have with food, and you've got enormous versatility. This is something that you could have with a ham or a turkey, or for me personally, I would love this with some foie gras and a little bit of toast with a little bit of jelly. It's got the acidity, which is cleansing the palate, but this richness and this buttery, creamy property because the champagne has been aged for a good amount of time, both in the vineyard and in the bottle. A sensational Christmas wine. One of the best things about my job is a constant exploration of new champagne houses. And one of the things that I was so bewildered by when I first arrived in Champagne in 2005 is that all the brands that we had in Australia, amazing, of course, but when I got to Champagne, there were so many more small producers that didn't make it to our far, far away nation, our island nation being Australia. But now we are number 6 in the world. We are a serious market. And of course, with Hebrart, we really pride ourselves on exploring new champagne brands and bringing in new champagne partners who have incredible pedigree and incredible winemaking precision and passion. Now, many of you know that Antoine Roland Bilcar Salmon are very dear friends of mine, have been very dear friends of mine for a long time. And I was always walking out of the gates of Bilcar Salmon in Marc in the Vallée de la Marne, and across the road I would see Marc Hebrart. Never tried the wines before, but I was always curious. So I had the opportunity to try the Marc Hebrart wines, and they are spectacular. And finally, we are featuring the wines in the club. It's something we've wanted to do for a while. Laure, who is our new French ambassador. I hope many of you have had an introduction to Laure so far. She's just arrived from Champagne. She has a connection with the house. We did a CIVC champagne tasting recently. We looked at the wines, they were exceptional, and we've decided to include Marc Hebrart Blanc de Blanc for the first time in the club, and I hope you love it as much as I do. So Marc Hebrart is located in the Vallée de la Marne in Marc. Of course, we are across the road from Épernay. We are across the road from Bilcar Salmon. We're in beautiful territory for Pinot Meunier. The wine that we're bringing to you this month is a Blanc de Blanc, of course, white of whites, 100% Chardonnay. 90% of the Chardonnay is coming from Marc, which is quite unusual because Marc is really famous for Pinot Noir or Pinot Meunier. But it does create a Chardonnay with immense texture and character. The 10% coming from the Côte de Blanc, oiry avis. So we've got some linearity, some tension, and some pedigree coming from these other vineyards in the Côte de Blanc. We have a champagne that's natural in its approach. It's very hands-off. No barrel up until 2004. Marc Hebrart started making wines under his own name in 1962. It's now Jean-Paul, his son, who took over in 1997 from memory. I'll clarify that, 1997 from memory. His son is now very hands-on in the vineyard, a very natural approach to making the wine. And what I love about the wines is there's this immense minerality and a texture and an expressiveness. There's so much character and dimension, but at the same time, a precision, a minerality, a really direct linear approach. And I love a Blanc de Blanc of this character, I really do. You've got immense versatility with this wine. Now you can go classic. For all of us thinking about Christmas Day this year, and I'm just getting my head around my wine list and my menu, I love to start my Christmas lunch or an aperitif, which is a little bit cliche, I know, with a Blanc de Blanc. Blanc de Blancs tend to have higher levels of acidity and more minerality and tension. So wonderful with oysters, wonderful with seafood, with scallops, sashimi. Could even go the other way with a richer cheese, and we can do this contrast between the richness of the cheese and the linearity and the acidic texture of the wine. But expect a wine from Hebrart which is poised. It's well made, it's characterful, it's got all that you would expect in a really good quality Blanc de Blanc. It's not the wine that I expected from him. I mean, I've had some other wines from him which are not Chardonnay dominant, and in an area like Marc, it's not something that you would expect, but I've got to tell you, sensational. So we have chosen 2 champagnes that I think will partner beautifully with whatever you're serving on Christmas Day. The minerality, the texture, the finesse of the Marc Hebrart, and the roundness and the richness of the Laurent-Perrier. So to all of our club members, we hope that you have enjoyed the final selection for this month. The Vintage 2012 from Laurent-Perrier, the Blanc de Blanc from Marc Hebrart. If you have missed out on either of these champagnes because of your level, then please contact us because we recommend that you have them for Christmas lunch this year. I'd also like to say a genuine and sincere thank you to all of our club members who have stayed with us throughout the year and to our new club members. We had some new club members joining this month, even last week, and I'm sure there's going to be more before the year is out. Thank you for trusting us to bring you your monthly dose of goodness, to explore the category of champagne, which is so interesting and so diverse. We love that you trust us to get you off the beaten track of champagne and really introduce you to some new champagnes. And that's only going to continue next year. With the help of Laure, our new champagne ambassador, we've got a whole new raft of champagnes coming your way next year, and it is uber exciting. Things that I actually have never seen before. That's the benefit of having a champenois in our team, on our soil. We are going to see you very soon. We're going to create some new events for you next year. We have some announcements to make. It's very exciting. We've got some new imports. We've got some new events. And of course, it's our 10-year anniversary of the club next year. So we're going to be planning a party. And everybody who's been with us for those 10 years, expect a special surprise coming your way. We thank you for your loyalty. We thank you for watching every episode. We thank you for enjoying the wines with us. Merry Christmas. I really do hope that you enjoy your time with your family, your friends, your lovers, whatever the day looks like for you. And I look forward to seeing you refreshed in the new year for a special lineup of new club champagnes. Merry Christmas and thanks for taking the journey with us.
Very good.
Oh my God, that's about to slide off the table.
Your slip.
Oh, it's a little bit slippy. A little bit slippy slutty. Okay. In 1729, our first champagne house was Sorry.
That's all right.
It was Rina, not on Rina. So I'm going to go back to the start of Laurent-Perrier. My lawyer. No one wants a slip, do they?
Woo! You ask. That glass really wants to
Slide in my lap. See my slip and my slopping all over the place.
have a drink.
Cheers, Nate. Thank you.